Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Brian Himmelfarb, and welcome to Let's Talk as we get ready to talk about this weekend's WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Or what could be the way of saying that the WWE may not have a creative backbone in their entire collective creative body. It's going to be a very interesting weekend because we don't know what's going to happen. But on the other side, it could be probably some of the most amazing things we ever seen. What's up, Luke Rojas? What's going on? Thank you guys for being a part of it. We're not going to make this a very long stream here tonight. We're going to keep it to the point. Talk about maybe a potential of surprises that could be there, or who knows? It could be anything that happens. Afal Ali, what's going on? Uh, Obviously, today is February 14th. It is Valentine's Day. Hopefully, everyone has had a very good Valentine's Day. Hopefully, you're not one of the mindless sheep who waited until the very last moment to get something for your significant other, like I've seen people to do today. There's a very easy way to deal with that situation. It's called wait till tomorrow and get everything at 50 to 75% off. Simple solution. But yeah, I saw all that go on today. But hopefully, you're having a very good Valentine's Day. Maybe some of you are getting a little, you know what, later, or maybe it's a little this, maybe it's a little that, whatever it is. Hopefully, it's great for you guys for Valentine's Day. For the rest of you guys, thanks for being here and thanks for coming to hang out, talk wrestling, get ready for the weekend. That is the Elimination Chamber. We got 7 matches on the card to talk about. What's up, Sarah Small? So links and everything down below, guys. You know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment if you'd like to talk about the Elimination Chamber, or maybe you might have a prediction of your own. The chat is open to you, and I want you guys to feel free to sound off on anything you'd like to do, or maybe you want to be like Luke and be a happy little troll. Who knows? I love Luke Rojas. He's a great guy. But we're going to talk about these matches here to get into for this weekend. What's up, Case Stream? As my phone rang there just for a moment, and I had to put it on decline because I'm on streaming right now. But 7 matches to get through. I'll be honest. I think most of the things I might see this weekend from the Elimination Chamber are going to be a little very predictable. I think the WWE is very happy at the fact that the 4 major championships are not going to change. We already know that Brock Lesnar is going into Mania. We already know that Asuka is going to be into Mania. Who's ready for Asuka? Obviously, nobody right now. She doesn't even have a match, and it's not even on television, so it's kind of fucked up. Daniel Bryan, obviously, I think is going to retain, spoiler alert, as we get through the rest of this review, when we get to that Elimination Chamber match. And Ronda Rousey, obviously. So there you go. It's pretty obvious at this point where this is going to go this weekend. But I think they're pretty safe and sound on that. I'm sure a lot of people know the news today about Jimmy Uso. He was arrested in Detroit for disorderly conduct and obstruction. And I'm wondering what role this is going to play this weekend, because obviously him and his brother Jay up for the tag belts against Shane McMahon and The Miz. And this may have a trickle-down effect to Naomi, because obviously Naomi, the wife of Jimmy Uso, and she was there at the time when he was arrested. So what role is this going to play in the trickle-down effect that it's going to happen to Naomi as well as Carmella, who is her tag team partner? Is something to think about as we go through what we talk about here today. So getting right started here, Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. And this has been now upgraded to a no disqualification match. And I kind of still don't care. I look at this situation and I look at this match and I say, why? Why is this match even important? Why should I care that we're seeing this? Sarah Small's bringing up Alexa Bliss. But Braun Strowman and Baron Corbin just feels boring to me. It feels uneventful. It doesn't really do anything for me as a fan to see this match. I don't know about for any of you in the chat. I just don't feel any excitement here. Whether it's no disqualification or they just think of any type of stipulation for this, I don't think there's anything there to really excite me for this contest. Uh, do I see any type of bullshittery going on in this match? Abso-freaking-lutely, especially that we're looking at no disqualification. Listen, Baron Corbin is the kind of guy at this point that I would love to see at this stage be the guy whose future endeavored. I just don't care about Baron Corbin. I liked him in NXT. I liked the idea of where they were going with him in NXT. And ever since he came to the main roster, when he won at one point the Money in the Bank, and I just feel like, you know, when he the Money in the Bank, any type of momentum lost. It was gone. At that point, interest in anything that Baron Corbin had. And, you know, Braun Strowman, a guy who at one point was supposed to be the one booked to win the championship. And then we get to the point of, well, he can't read a line to save his life. They take him out of the title match with Brock Lesnar. I mean, everything has been just gone from bad to worse with Braun Strowman here. So it's really bad for him. Good for the rest of us, you know, because we just don't care about this match. And if they open the show with this, who knows if the crowd's going to fall asleep during this match. So that's another thing that could suck. What's up, Wise Society? I didn't say hi to you earlier. What's going on? But I think when we see this, we're going to see some bullshittery, especially considering it's no disqualification. I think Drew McIntyre is going to play a role here. So I expect to see Drew McIntyre. Maybe we see a couple of other competitors make their way in to help stop Braun Strowman. But I think in the end, when it's all said and done, I am going with Braun Strowman to win this match. And hopefully, at some point, Baron Corbin just gets future endeavored and sent away, because I think for the rest of us as fans, we don't give a shit about Baron Corbin. I was about to say Braun Strowman, but we don't care about Baron Corbin. I just don't feel like there's really a big future for him, to be honest with you. And anything I see of Baron Corbin, ever since I went to Raw or I watched him on television, it's like I just want to change the channel, go use the bathroom. Honestly, I just don't care about Baron Corbin. That's just the way I see it. You know, Braun Strowman, I see him winning, but yeah, expect a lot of bullshittery in a no disqualification match, and just keep an eye out for Drew McIntyre in this situation. The WWE Intercontinental Championship on the line in a handicap match. Bobby Lashley, of course, the champion. Kind of a forgettable champion, to be honest with you, as the IC title holder. Will team up with Lio Rush, his hype man, to take on Finn Balor. And Finn Balor, as we remember from the Royal Rumble, you know, going up against against Brock Lesnar. I really hoped that Finn Balor was going to win, and I wanted him to win, even though I kind of looked at it from the other side and said, come on, man, we all know what's going to happen here. Brock Lesnar's going to retain and take it to Mania, and it was exactly everything that I expected. So Finn Balor now getting the opportunity at a mid-card title, although I feel like Finn Balor should be a main eventer. We're not seeing that right now. But coming into this match as a handicap match, you know, I believe at this point the WWE is safe enough to say that Bobby Lashley is going to retain. I think if this was just a one-on-one match, that we would see a disqualification caused by Lio Rush. But now Lio Rush being thrown in, I started thinking earlier in the week, maybe Finn Balor does win the belt by pinning Lio Rush. But then I feel like that makes him look weak, you know, and not beating Bobby Lashley. So I feel like that they want to take the belt off of him and find the best way to do it. In this handicap match, I feel like, again, we're going to see some bullshittery here. You know, something is going to happen during this contest. And if you guys have been watching WWE programming this week, I think you know who I'm talking about here, and that's Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is set to return soon. I know in a promo that he did, was in a bowling alley, saying that he was going to be back in March. I think that we might get a tad of a surprise here and have him come back at the Elimination Chamber and screw over Bobby Lashley, maybe causing a disqualification here, setting up a tag team match between Lashley and Lio Rush versus Finn Balor and Kevin Owens. So Kevin Owens coming back as a face in this situation is where I see this. And but Bobby Lashley will at least retain the belt coming up to Mania. And maybe at Fastlane is where we see this tag match take place. Or maybe at Mania we see this tag match. But I feel like that the WWE has got to have some plans to put the belt on Finn Balor at some point. What's up to Mark Crew and Jim Case? Just caught you guys there in the chat. What's going on? But Bobby Lashley is going to hold on to the belt here, at least for this weekend. And I would say at this stage, he'll probably win by DQ. That's why I was saying that Kevin Owens will get involved here, but Lashley by DQ. That's where I see this one. Wise Society says, remember when Gable and Rude won the titles by pinning Maverick in the handicap match with AOP? Maybe they have Balor do that. We just talked about that. Yeah, we just talked about that. That Finn Balor could win the match by pinning Lio Rush, but I don't know if I really want to see that, especially for Finn Balor, because I feel like Finn Balor deserves more than that, and he deserves to win it by beating Bobby Lashley and not by Lio Rush. So that's why I said I think Kevin Owens is going to be there in this situation, cause a disqualification, setting up a tag team matchup, and eventually down the line we will see Finn Balor retain the title. Maybe, as I said, this could be a setup for Fastlane, and then at Mania we get Lashley and Finn Balor, because I think Finn Balor, if he's going to win the title, do it on the main stage, especially at WrestleMania, where they can bring the demon gimmick and have the demon gimmick once again there at WrestleMania and win the title that way. I think that's the best way to go for Finn Balor. So for now, Kevin Owens, we're going to see him back, and I think that's what we're going to get, a DQ finish. So 2 matches so far, a lot of bullshittery, no surprise here. But as we come into our next contest that we're going to talk about, and that is the WWE Raw Women's Championship match, Ronda Rousey, the champion, versus Ruby Riott of the Riott Squad. And obviously, this is another one of those matches where I mentioned earlier in the stream here, where the WWE is very content on having the main champions stay the course, and that would obviously be Ronda Rousey, because we know that Ronda Rousey is going to be champion going into Mania with Charlotte and Becky. And obviously, I think the WWE moving in the direction of a triple threat. We know that Charlotte will be there during the match, sitting in the front row. No surprise on that. And that's going to help continue the feud between her and Becky Lynch, because we know that Becky Lynch is going to be there. Forget all that suspension bullshit. We know that Becky Lynch is going to show up. We know that Becky Lynch is going to get involved with Charlotte, not in the match with Ruby Riott, but to get, in the face of Charlotte, could be right behind her in the seat, and we're going to see these two brawl at some point either during the match or after the match. Ruby Riott is cannon fodder here at this stage. It's not important for her. So they made her look legit during the week here. What's up, Denise? They made her look legit this week, which was no surprise there. She had the victory over Nikki Cross. But we all know that Ronda Rousey's going to retain no matter what. And I think they have to make Ruby Riott look strong. But then on the other side, they cannot care about that. Focus on Charlotte and Becky, because I feel like that's the direction they need to go. And isn't it funny that we just don't see Asuka on television? And I said earlier, who's ready for Asuka? Obviously nobody, because she's not important at this stage. So it really sucks. But Ronda Rousey is going to win this match. As far as I'm concerned, she could go over clean here, or this could be a DQ situation as well. Although I don't think it would be much. It could be a DQ, especially if the Becky and Charlotte situation spills out from the seats and into the ring. And if that's the case, that's when the ref's going to ring the bell, and then here we go, another DQ, dusty finish kind of thing, bunch of bullshittery. We're 3 matches in, we're still seeing a lot of bullshit. But they're setting up Mania, and obviously it makes me feel like that no one's really cares about this pay-per-view, because, 3 matches in, and almost I'm like, man, this is going to suck. But That's the way it's going to be right now. So Rousey, I think, will win. I think more than likely she will win clean, but keep an eye on Charlotte Flair because we know that Becky's going to make an appearance. We know Becky's going to show up in the crowd. It's going to spill out from the crowd and into the ring. That's where I feel like that this type of pay-per-view is more interesting of what's going to go on outside the ring than really what's going on inside the ring. And that's my major issue right now. So Rousey will retain. Obviously, she's retaining all the way to Mania at this stage. So keep an eye on that. But keep an eye on Becky Lynch and Charlotte. That's really where the focus of this match is. And especially keep an eye on the crowd in this match because we know that the crowd is turned on Ronda Rousey. She's getting massive heel heat now at this stage. They are booing the shit out of Ronda Rousey, and it's expected because we're more for Becky. We don't care about Ronda Rousey anymore. I mean, we all know that Ronda Rousey is probably more than likely going to be away from the ring after WrestleMania. This has been mentioned, for about at least a week or two ago, that she's going to be leaving after WrestleMania. So this is of no surprise here. So I expect, the new title holder, which is probably going to be Becky Lynch. There's even that possibility, and I thought about this, of the whole Asuka situation, because we haven't seen Asuka on television. What is Asuka up to? I feel like especially when we think about the tag team titles, when we get into the women's tag team belts, that maybe, what's up, Girl Strong? What if we're going to see a unification of the women's titles? Because I feel like that if you're going to have the tag team titles split across both shows, then and have them together where the champions could go on either show, at this point, I would think that the women's title should do the same thing because you just don't have enough women in the division that are at the top of that division, I think, that should be competing. So I would think at this stage, Denise is saying she's not going anywhere. Well, yeah, but she might want to raise a family. Who knows? She did say that a while back. We don't know. There's a lot of situations with Ronda Rousey, but she's going to drop the belt at Mania. It has to happen. But I feel like that combining the women's titles and then you have the tag belts, I think makes a lot of sense. Maybe, I don't want to say fatal four-way at Mania, but oh my God, I couldn't think of the thought. They could have a four-way. Jim Case just brought it up in the chat. I think they may be going this route, and it's going to be something interesting, something to keep an eye on. Asuka's definitely worthy of facing Ronda Rousey as well as Charlotte and Becky. So I wouldn't be too surprised fatal four-way situation to unify the belts. I think that was something that's something we could keep an eye on because, as I said, we haven't seen Asuka on television. Where is Asuka? So we need to know what's going on with that. And then again, they probably didn't have much for her because if you think about it, it's been more about the tag belts than anything else. So mostly all the women are in the Elimination Chamber, which we're going to get into in a few minutes. Buddy Murphy defending the Cruiserweight Championship, or a championship that most of us pretend doesn't even exist at this point, versus Akira Tozawa. As we all know, Hideo Itami no longer with WWE. He was in the match last month at the Royal Rumble, really a few weeks ago. God, it doesn't feel like it almost feels like in one way it was an eternity since the Rumble, but then in another way, it's only been a few weeks. It's really weird. But Buddy Murphy defending the belt against Akira Tozawa. This is a belt that has the possibility of changing hands. If they're going to change a belt at this event, this is the one that's probably going to happen. But then again, we could stick to status quo where WWE might say, listen, I'm okay with Buddy Murphy going to WrestleMania as champion. Not saying that that's what I want, but I feel like that is the direction they might be. Again, they're probably playing it safe here, and that is my situation now. They're playing it safe. I don't know if they're willing to change the title, but if they are, this is the one. But I'm going to go ahead and go against my gut feeling here and go with a title change and go with Tozawa winning here. I'd like to see it. I think it would help for Mania to at least give us something, give us a little hope, a little bit of a title change here. That's what I would go with. So Akira Tozawa, I'm going to pick him over Buddy Murphy to win the belt. What's up, Steve Callen? Good to see you tonight. So Akira Tozawa winning the belt, I think, and this might be, as I said, the only belt that changes hands all night long. So we got to give us something, and this is going to be the ones. I take a swig here for a second before we start getting the Elimination Chamber. I appreciate everybody who's hung out in the stream tonight. Thank you very much. As I said, I know it's Valentine's Day and people probably have better things to do, and I understand. Or you're hanging out for the moment because you might get a little action later. Awesome. Congratulations either way. And for those who are saying, oh, don't call it National Hallmark Day because that means you're alone and you have nobody, you loser. I mean, I hate that bullshit, so. But it's like, let it go. You know, Hallmark's making enough money today, of all things. But shout out to Ryan Romano. Thank you for coming on in. I appreciate it. Guys, sound off in the chat to some of the things I've been saying. If you have predictions of what you might think is going to happen here, so make sure you guys sound off in the chat. I am listening and to the opinions. Jim K is bringing up the possibility of Fatal 4-Way at WrestleMania, which is a possibility there for the women's title. Going into the Elimination Chamber, I'm going to start with the WWE Championship. There are some possibilities lying around in this when I look at it. Daniel Bryan, obviously the champion, who I think is going to retain, versus AJ Styles, versus Jeff Hardy, versus Randy Orton, versus Samoa Joe, versus Kofi Kingston, who is replacing Mustafa Ali, or who's suffering from a concussion, in the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship. I think this may be the main event, however, I think maybe they might be willing to go with the women's tag belts as a main event. I don't know. It's a very interesting situation. I still think that the WWE Championship, your main title, should be the main event, and I think it probably will be. Daniel Bryan with the hemp belt and everything, which is amazing. I love the hemp belt, by the way. I'd love to go on WWEshop.com and buy the hemp belt. You know, I don't know if anyone notices if it's on the shop or not, if the hemp belt is there, because I think that's amazing. I'm absolutely loving it. But yeah, Ryan Romano thinking that the WWE Championship could finally main event a pay-per-view. But again, WWE might say, nah, let's go to the women's tag belt. So there's so many ways they could go with this. But here's the thing. First off, Kofi Kingston. Let's go back to SmackDown. And Kofi Kingston, I think, was the highlight of SmackDown this past week. I think, first off, SmackDown to me was actually a pretty good show. I actually enjoyed SmackDown for once. It's been a little while since I can say that I've enjoyed a main event, a main roster show. I mean, Raw has been very lackluster, but yet surprisingly, SmackDown has been pretty good. What's up, Alpha Excalibur, man? How you doing? Ryan Romano bringing up a thought, Bray Wyatt. We're gonna get into that in a minute. I always bring up Bray Wyatt, but Kofi Kingston was one of the highlights, especially if you guys were watching the Gauntlet match and how great Kofi Kingston was and the performance that he put on. Probably that was the idea that they wanted to do with Mustafa Ali, but now because of the concussion, they weren't able to do that. I think that everything that Kofi Kingston did was probably expected more for Mustafa Ali. And especially after coming up from 205 Live, coming into SmackDown, and really putting him on the map. That is what their goal was, but unfortunately, due to the concussion, they didn't clear him to wrestle, and now we get Kofi Kingston. And I feel like the WWE warming up and giving him the opportunity, replacing High Flyer with another is absolutely right, Ryan Romano. But the fact that Kofi Kingston now, I feel like at this stage, could be the guy who challenges Daniel Bryan for the title at WrestleMania. I feel like that's the way they're going to go. And it should make sense. How long has it been since Kofi Kingston has been given an opportunity like this? I mean, to go from a guy now who at one time was competing for the main championship against a guy like Randy Orton many years ago, it feels like eons ago. And I want to say it was 2012 around there with Kofi Kingston. And then you've been Mr. Royal Rumble with all the things that he's done in a Royal Rumble to avoid being eliminated, to a guy who's running around with the New Day, handing out, throwing out pancakes to the crowd, and now getting the opportunity to compete for the title And I always thought that the guy who would come out from the New Day with a stronger singles push, I always thought was going to be Big E. But now WWE is saying, you know what? Kofi Kingston, he's been around for a long, long time. Let's give him the opportunity, and he deserves the opportunity to be a main eventer. He did, and to the point that I can say Kofi Kingston deserves the opportunity to be the WWE champion. I'd love to see that. How awesome would that be when the New Day coming out and then you see Kofi Kingston with the WWE Championship? That would be amazing. I would be all for it. Obviously, it's not a Freebird rule thing, but again, I would love to see that. But yeah, there's a possibility they would have to repackage him, but I mean, it depends if the WWE is really soured on the New Day, and I feel like they're not really sour on them at all. You know, don't you dare be sour. You know, that kind of thing. But I don't think they've soured on the New Day. They're all for it. But I feel like he deserves a run. Yeah, hell, even Big E, gyrating Big E, you know, sitting there just gyrating in the ring. He deserves an opportunity at a singles push. And but now we're going to get it with Kofi Kingston, and I think that's great. Will he win here in the Elimination Chamber? No. And will he get an elimination or two? Yes, he's going to, because they're going to continue on the momentum that he had at SmackDown this week, especially in that gauntlet match. So is there any feuds that's going to come out of this match? Yes. I think that would be AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I think there's a feud developing between the two of them. I mean, we've already seen enough of AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, so I feel like that AJ Styles and Randy Orton would be interesting going into Mania, and that Daniel Bryan will feud with Kofi Kingston. That's the situation I see going there. Randy Orton obviously will be the last one to come out of his pod to enter the match. But when it's all said and done, when the smoke all clears, Daniel Bryan will still be the champion. As I'm writing these down as I go, so who knows if we're doing two marks tomorrow night? We got to know. If we're doing two mark crew tomorrow night, we got to know. So I got to remember who I'm picking here. But Daniel Bryan will retain. And this is where things get interesting. And when I'm talking about interesting, a lot of you guys know that Luke Harper has been cleared to compete. Rowan's been on television now. Rowan, I guess the vegan Rowan at this stage, running around with Daniel Bryan. And at this stage, I think that we might see Luke Harper as well. So maybe we're going to get vegan Luke Harper, you know, so we'll have them. And then all of a sudden, where does Bray Wyatt fit in this whole thing? And that I feel like that this weekend we will finally see Bray Wyatt. I mean, I sat there during the Royal Rumble of all events. Every time the timer was counting down, 3, 2, 1, Bray Wyatt, and it just never showed up. It's like I'm at the point where I need a milk carton with the missing picture of Bray Wyatt on there so that we can find out, hey, where's Bray Wyatt? We haven't seen Bray Wyatt in forever. So what are they doing with him? Are they going to repackage him? Are they going to make him like a vegan? Or are they going to try and keep maybe an angle where the Deleter of Worlds returns and tries to bring Rowan and Harper back with him and reunite the Wyatt family? It's a very interesting situation. So I would love to see Bray Wyatt this weekend. I think that we probably will see Luke Harper. As I said, again, more things outside the ring than in it. It seems to be the situation here. So I think that we will at least see Luke Harper, maybe see Bray Wyatt as well, and in a way to try and reunite the Wyatt family. I think that's the way to go. WWE SmackDown Tag Team titles. The Miz and Shane McMiz, sounds like something you get at McDonald's, versus the Usos. And this is for the tag team titles. This was a match what I looked at in the beginning and said, I could see a title change where the Usos would be champions. Of course, that was before Jimmy Uso got arrested. And so because Jimmy Uso got arrested, all of a sudden, I don't see them doing this. I see this as punishment now. They're going to do the punishment and say, okay, no, we're not going to put the belts on you. We're going to keep them on Shane McMahon and The Miz. Now, here's the thing. We know that The Miz and Shane McMahon pretty much are going to face each other at Mania. And I think that taking the belts off of them now, I think was the idea that WWE wanted to do. I don't think they're going to do it now because of the arrest situation that was reported by TMZ today. I know Joe Cronin talked about it earlier today as well. As I was coming out of work and I was learning about it, and I was like, holy shit, here we go. And as I said, this could have a trickle down effect to Naomi as well, because Naomi was there at the time when he was arrested. I don't think it'll be a big punishment kind of thing, but it could affect placing of where she might be eliminated with Carmella in the chamber. So kind of keep an eye on that. But I think they're going to plant some seeds here of a dissension between Shane McMahon and The Miz. That's definitely going to happen. I think they will retain the belts, but dissension in the ranks needs to take place. It's not paranoia, it's an Uso in lockup, says Jim Case. Yeah, he is out on bail, by the way. So, but as I said, I think that we will see a retaining of the title between The Miz and Shane McMahon. I think they will win clean in this situation. If we didn't hear anything about this arrest, I was ready to go ahead and put it right to the Usos. But now, because of the arrest situation, again, I think we're going to see some sort of punishment here, and that The Miz and Shane McMahon will retain the belts. But again, seeds of dissension will take place here as expected to help build the feud for WrestleMania between both of them. So that's where it's going to go. And then, as I said, where does the trickle down effect go when it comes to Naomi? We're going to get into in a minute. She, as I said, she wasn't arrested or anything like that. Just Jimmy Uso, but I don't think she's going to take it that bad. So there you go. But as I said, McMiz, they're going to win. Dissension in the ranks begins. We see that we're going to start seeing maybe a bit of separation as we get to WrestleMania. I think at Fastlane is where they're going to lose the belts, and then that's when things go. Here we go, and the two go at it. Finally, we get to our last match, at least as we know of right now. There may be some other matches added to the card. There's a possibility maybe the Revival come in and defend the Raw tag team titles. Thank God the Revival are champions. It's been like forever, and they deserve the belts. We may see the United States title get defended this weekend. Again, there's a possibility those matches could get added. If they do, maybe the Cruiserweight title goes down to the pre-show, usually like the Cruiserweight title does. So who knows where we're going to go in this situation. But the final match to get to, another Elimination Chamber. This is for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Sasha Banks and Bayley. Sasha is cleared. She can wrestle. She will be there on Sunday. Versus Nia Jax and Tamina. Versus the Iconics of Peyton Royce and Billie Kay. The Riot Squad, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. Fire and Desire, a.k.a. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Versus Naomi and Carmella. Does some of these teams feel like they're very shoehorned together? Obviously, Naomi and Carmella is a shoehorned tag team. Even you can even go as far back with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, feeling a bit shoehorned because at one point, yes, they were together as Absolution with Paige, and then all of a sudden they kind of went their separate ways. Now, boom, they're back together. But yeah, they kind of feel as like a team, but again, shoehorned for this match. And of course, Nia Jax and Tamina, two that I believe just can't wrestle worth a lick. And then you got Sasha Banks and Bayley, who are better as singles competitors, but now forced together as a team. And the Boston Hug connection. And I think I'm about to disappoint everyone in this chat when I tell you that Sasha Banks and Bayley are not winning the tag team titles. I am sorry. It will not happen. As much as we want the story that they've been building for so long of saying, we're going to be the tag team champions. We want to be tag team champions. Oh, we're not friends now. And they go through counseling and all this other bullshit that we had to watch, to the point of saying, we're back together, we love each other, and we're going to be tag team champions. I don't want to see that. This is where I go back to WWE not having a creative backbone in their body. And, I feel like they don't have that backbone in their body if they go with Sasha and Bayley to win. I mean, if Sasha and Bailey were to win the tag belts, because honestly, I think they're bigger than the tag team titles. They're more for the women's championship. They're more main event worthy and not tag team title worthy. There's no need for them to have it. But if they were to win it, why win it at the Elimination Chamber? I wouldn't. I don't want to see that. I would rather have them chase it to WrestleMania and win it there, because Sasha and Bailey are more WrestleMania worthy, being on a big stage and winning compared to the Elimination Chamber. Who cares? That's the way I feel about it, because you look at the competition and it's like, whatever. Vegas probably looks at it as saying, Sasha and Bailey, 5-2 odds that they win the title. The next team down will make them 100-1 or 1,000-1, because it just feels so lopsided to the point that Bailey and Sasha win. Jim K saying, yes, Mania or SummerSlam makes sense. That's a perfect stages where they should win something like this. Not at the Elimination Chamber, not at Fastlane. And I thought about this and said, man, think about this. This iconic moment where iconically we're going to have tag team titles. It's such an iconic feeling. What's up, Roger? And I just feel like at this stage that they would go with Peyton Royce and Billie Kay and make them feel more legit and say the Iconics as tag team title holders, because that would be pretty fucking cool. But they won't. They won't. Maybe they go to Naomi and Carmella. No, they've been shoehorned together. That's just not going to happen. Maybe they go to Fire and Desire of Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. No, they're not going to do that, because Naomi's too busy feuding with Mandy Rose over Jimmy Uso. I mean, it's like I wonder if the executives of Fox watching right now saying, this is what we bought? We bought SmackDown, where one of their feuds is a love triangle with Mandy Rose and Naomi and Jimmy Uso. This feels like Melrose Place. All I need is Joey Styles out there now at commentary, feeling like that we're going to see fucking Francine going at it, and sitting there be like, catfight, catfight. That's what I feel like that's going to happen. Listen, Mandy Rose and Naomi are just going to cancel each other out. Okay, that's where we're heading. It just feels like we're heading in that direction. And, they'll cancel each other out, leaving 4 teams left. The Riot Squad, which feels like a team. The Iconics, which obviously is a team. Then you got Nia Jax and Tamina and Sasha and Bailey, which are your odds-on favorites. And, God, I still think in Melrose Place, and I think of Courtney Thorne-Smith and Heather Locklear in their suits and tight little skirts going out fighting each other. And all of a sudden, we can have commentary by Jerry the King Lawler and Joey Styles. Cat fight! Ooh, puppies! That's the last thing we really need right now. But women's de-evolution could happen once again. But as much as the fans want Sasha Banks and Bailey to win, they're going to get screwed. We know that Sasha Banks has been cleared again to wrestle, that her injury, maybe a work, we don't know. Jerry Lawler, the perfect person to commentate the match. Puppies! Oh my God, think of the Attitude Era. Oh man, I'm thinking right now, if anyone from Two Mark is watching right now, say, oh my God, I got to go back and watch the Attitude Era and hear Jerry Lawler scream puppies. Or you can have Joey Styles going, cat fight! Oh, man. Just remember that. Dawn Marie and Francine, going at it. Cat fight! We could do that forever. But I feel like that Sasha Banks and Bailey are going to get screwed here. I think that Sasha Banks and Bailey will be one of the last 3 teams remaining in the Elimination Chamber. And that's when the screw job is going to happen. That's when all of a sudden, oh my God! Yes, thank you, Ryan Romano. At some point, something's going to happen that Bailey and Sasha are eliminated, and everybody in the crowd's like, this needs the shocking moment. We need this shocking moment to take the team that we all thought was going to win and eliminate them, which makes sense, because I never had them winning in the first place. As sad as I wanted to pick the Iconics, but I have a feeling that it's going to come down to this. As much as we all don't want this, I think this is what's going to happen. Nia Jax and Tamina are going to win this match. Nia Jax and Tamina, which is going to bring them the belts and the massive amounts of heel heat that's going to come with it, mainly from fans saying you can't wrestle, because obviously both of them can't wrestle worth a shit. And Nia Jax is fat. Watch out now, SJW there, Luke Rojas. But yeah, Iconics are a knockoff of the early Bellas. Yeah, they are. But yeah, I'd love to see them as tag team title holders. As much as Gina might say, "Oh, I hate their voice of Billie Kay," but we all love sexy Peyton Royce compared to Billie Kay. But I just have this feeling WWE is going to put this on Nia Jax and Tamina and have them win the belts. I'd love to see the Riot Squad win or the Iconics win, but they're going to go at Nia and Tamina. Nia and Tamina are going to be the tag team title holders at least until WrestleMania. But then comes the question, what happens with Sasha and Bayley? Do we get a dissension? I don't think we will. I think that we will see the injury angle play out a little bit more in the Elimination Chamber. And then Bayley's got to play the hero and do everything she can to win and come up short. I think that's what we're going to see. And when it's all said and done, Nia Jax and Tamina will become the champions. Chances are maybe Bayley and Sasha are one of the last two. I'm thinking they're the last three, and then that's when they get screwed. But I think that maybe they could be the last two. Nia Jax and Tamina standing in front of them. And then that's when the injury to Sasha Banks is going to play out more. And then Bayley, trying to be the reluctant hero, goes down in defeat. And that Nia Jax and Tamina walk out as the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. As much as I don't want it, as much as a lot of us as fans don't want it, I think that's where we're heading. Disappointing? Yes. This whole pay-per-view is bound for disappointment, to be honest with you. As I said, more things are going to happen outside the ring than it is inside the ring. And the question is, how much of a backbone does WWE have in terms of booking? Something creative, something shocking, something, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. That's what they need to do to get people interested in this event, or it's going to be very predictable and very boring. And that's what I'm worried about as we look at this. Possible appearances that could happen. We talked about Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens will be there during the Lashley-Finn Balor match. Keep an eye out for Kevin Owens. Luke Harper could play a role mainly during the Elimination Chamber WWE Championship match. Bray Wyatt could still make an appearance. The only reason I disagree with you, Bry, is Sasha's been getting her ass handed to her. You know, WWE play up the role. Yeah, the hero winning. I know, but again, I feel like they should chase it. And I understand, Jim, and I agree with you. But the thing is, I feel like they need to chase it to WrestleMania and win it there. And I feel like that's the best moment. But they need a shocker. They need something to get the fans going. You know, they need to do that because it just feels too predictable to go the route of Sasha and Bayley right now. Have them chase it. Win it at Mania. Or maybe Sasha and Bayley break up and maybe we get the Sasha and Bayley match at WrestleMania. Although I highly doubt that's going to happen, especially since the focus of the women's division is more on Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey. And that's where we're heading. Batista has been rumored as well being at the Elimination Chamber this weekend. Keep an eye on Batista and what role he could play at WrestleMania. So we've been hearing that Batista wants his retirement match. He wants to face Triple H. We're hearing that Triple H has been cleared to work out again, but I don't think he'll be ready in time for Mania, which could push Batista and Triple H to next year. And maybe Batista appears this year and does something, or promotes the Avengers movie. Who knows? But somehow I think we might see Batista. Batista's also been in, looks like been in talks with AEW as well. So kind of keep an eye on that with the Batista thing. Bootista or Bluetista or whatever we want to call it. Or Dusted Tista, because obviously he's been dusted by Thanos. But very interesting situation to go ahead and keep an eye on. in terms of Dave Bautista and whether he's going to make an appearance this weekend. And God forbid, they probably need as much appearances as possible to get people to talk about this event. And we don't know what's going to happen when it comes to that. Guys, that pretty much wraps up anything of the Elimination Chamber. As I said, this is either going to be status quo and boring, or, oh my God, we might get a shocking moment or two that we hope that WWE is smart enough to book. Guys, if you haven't yet, hit the like button. Greatly appreciate it. Comment, subscribe. Check the links down below, especially Twitch. This weekend, obviously, as you guys know, I do stuff on WWE 2K19. And this weekend on Sunday, the day of the Elimination Chamber, at 12 noon Eastern, I have a thing called HWF, the Himmel Wrestling Federation. As we're getting ready for the Himmel Chamber this Sunday, 3 Elimination Chamber matches and other matches, championship matches to follow. We do have a last man standing match with Joe Compton and Dan Rex, which is going to be a really interesting thing. Thanos defending the Rumble title. Dwayne Hadley is going to be in there. We have the HWF Internet Championship. Myself, my own nephew Mason Lee, is going to be in the match. Schleppy, Shots Fired Christian, Alpha Excalibur, and oh my God, and Foul Mouth Bobbitt, all in the Elimination Chamber. That's going to be awesome. The HWF Championship will be unveiled and defended in the Elimination Chamber, featuring Heistman Defoe and Foulmouth Ken. Keep an eye out for that one. Io Shirai, which is our current women's champion, will be facing Alicia Fox. We're also going to have a tag team match for tag team qualifiers, which is going to feature the Usos versus the Street Profits. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. Street Profits, by the way, great on NXT this week. Love them on NXT this week. They were awesome. And but overall, it's going to be a great weekend. Make sure you guys check everything out. Tomorrow, I will also be on Twitch playing Crackdown 3 to see if the game is worth any type of hype or negativity. I am going to play it tomorrow live on Twitch, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern. So check it out. This will be before monetize this 200, so you guys can come check out the gameplay. I got it through Xbox Game Pass. I did not spend $60 for it. I guarantee you that. But I am going to play it tomorrow if you guys want to check it out on Twitch. The link is down below to check out Twitch. It is _Himmelgod over on Twitch. So make sure you guys check that out. Thank you guys for over 300 followers over on Twitch. You guys have been amazing. But HWF will take place on Sunday, 12 noon. Plenty of time before the Elimination Chamber. So we got plenty of time. We have plenty of wrestling. And I'm pretty sure Ryan Romano already talking about Heistman Defoe winning the HWF title. It may happen. You know, he's got some tough competition in there, so it's going to be really interesting. So, but thank you very much. Thank you, Ryan Romano. Thank you, Jim Case, telling everybody, hit the like button. But yes, check out Twitch. HWF will eventually appear on YouTube, maybe on late Sunday while I'm watching Elimination Chamber. I'll probably get it up on YouTube if you haven't had a chance to see it on Twitch, either then or on Monday. So kind of keep an eye out for that if you didn't get a chance to watch it live. But head over to Twitch, dude. It's free. Hit the follow button. It's all you got to do. It doesn't cost you any money. Just come on in, come hang out. We watch a game and talk shit in the chat. It's a great time. So make sure you guys do that. I'm pretty sure we may do a live stream tomorrow night as well with the 2 Mark crew. I don't know of a time yet because I really want to focus on monetize this 200 and be there for Joe Cronin. But we may talk Elimination Chamber as well and keep up with my picks. So we'll do that. But yeah, keep an eye on Twitch. Everything I'm doing. I haven't been streaming a lot lately, but we will have more streaming as things come. And of course, you'll see it here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed here, hit subscribe. Greatly appreciate it as we get close to 300 subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you all very, very much. I know the content is a little lacking, but as I said, we'll get stuff up here as soon as possible. But thank you to everyone who hung out tonight. Thank you to everybody who's watching this later. Shout out to Jim Case. Shout out to Ryan Romano. Thank you to Dwayne Hadley, who I saw here tonight. Thank you going out to Luke Rojas, our friendly troll, hanging out in the chat. Roger that, who we saw at least for one message earlier tonight. Denise, thank you for being here. Alpha Excalibur, man, greatly appreciate you hanging out here. Of course, we'll see you on Sunday. Sarah Small, Stephen Callan, thank you very much. Gorilla Strong, thank you. Wise Society, holy cow, man. Everyone who just came in here, thank you for coming in and just hanging out for even for the little while. Greatly appreciate it. And for everyone else who watches later, obviously for everybody else, happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully you're getting a little action later on tonight. Shout out to my Valentine, Gina. Thank you. And I did ask to be your Valentine this week, so I ended up getting that. So thank you to my Valentine, Gina J. And thank you to everybody who watched the show here tonight, watched the stream. Shout it out to all your friends. Send it out over on Twitter. I love you guys, and I love you too, Jim Case. You're the man. See, Tommy NC, when you watch this, there's nothing wrong with saying I love you to another guy, okay? It's not gay. It's not homo, you know? I love you guys. Holy cow. I love Ryan Romano. I love Jim Case. I love Luke Rojas. I love everyone. Casey is Raw. Let me not forget about Casey is Raw. Thank you. But shout out to everybody. Thank you for being here. Let's get out of here. Let's enjoy the rest of the night. I'll see you guys for the Elimination Chamber on Sunday. I'll see you for HWF. I'll see you for Crackdown tomorrow. Hey, I'll even see you for Monetize This 200 on the Joe Cronin Show. I'm Brian Himmel.